Announced today, the party will make South Carolina the first presidential primary voting state ahead of the 2024 election. The move officially dethrones Iowa and New Hampshire from leading things off. The Democratic National Committee made the change after recommendations from President Biden for the 2024 calendar. Michigan and potentially Georgia will also join the early states in the biggest shakeup of the presidential primary in years. The calendar is still not final since it's now up to the states to change their primary dates to comply.